The tax guru got me thinking bigger now. The tax guru ain't no looking down.
Welcome back to another Tax Guru Tax Crime File story. I'm Tyrone Taylor, enrolled agent, bringing you another notorious federal tax crime case you may have never heard of. Join me every weekday, Monday through Friday, as I discuss a real federal tax crime story. Follow, like, and share if you enjoy learning about these cases. Imagine hiring someone to prepare your tax return because you trust them to get it right. Well, now imagine prosecutors saying that not only was your tax return prepared with false information, but in some cases, part of your refund was secretly redirected into bank accounts controlled by the very people you hired. That's exactly what federal prosecutors said happened in today's tax crime file. This case comes out of Las Vegas, Nevada, where mother and son, Michelle Gregg and Nicholas Gregg, operated a tax preparation business. According to IRS Criminal Investigations, both have now pled guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States. Let's talk about what happened and, more importantly, what every taxpayer can learn from it. Now, one thing I've always reminded people is this: hiring a tax preparer doesn't transfer responsibility for your tax return. As an enrolled agent, part of my job is representing taxpayers before the IRS and helping them stay compliant with tax laws. That starts with making sure the information on the return is accurate before it's filed. According to court documents summarized by IRS Criminal Investigation, this wasn't about one or two bad tax returns. The government says the conspiracy involved hundreds of federal tax returns. Prosecutors said the returns included fabricated business income, fabricated business expenses, false claims for COVID sick and family leave credits, and false residential energy credits. Now, those credits themselves are legitimate parts of the tax law. The crime was claiming them when taxpayers weren't entitled to receive them, which unfortunately it appears these tax return preparers did pretty often. According to the IRS, these false claims sought more than $5 million in fraudulent tax refunds. But here's a part of the story that really stands out. According to prosecutors, in some instances, clients didn't even know anything was even happening. The IRS says portions of some clients' refunds were allegedly diverted into bank accounts controlled by the defendants without those clients' knowledge. If that's true, then some clients weren't participants in the fraud, they were active victims of it. That's an important distinction. The IRS announcement doesn't explain how the investigators uncovered the scheme, so I'm not going to speculate. We only know the investigation was conducted by the IRS Criminal Investigations Department. According to the March 2nd, 2026 announcement, both Michelle Gregg and Nicholas Gregg pled guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States. Sentencing has not yet been made at the time of this recording, so we don't yet know the final outcome. Here's what caught my attention about this case. Most people think the biggest risk when hiring a tax preparer is that they might make a mistake and cause them to be audited. This case reminds us that there's another risk. You need to review your tax return before you sign it. Make sure you understand what's being claimed and don't stop there. You have to verify where your refund is being deposited. If your refund is supposed to go into your bank account, confirm that's exactly what the return says. A few minutes of reviewing your tax return can save you months or even years of headaches. If someone prepares your return, remember this: your signature says you reviewed it. That's why it's so important to ask questions if something doesn't make sense. If you're unsure about a deduction, a credit, or refund information, ask before the return is filed. I'm Tyrone Taylor, enrolled agent, and that's today's Tax Guru Tax Crime File. Real tax crimes, real court cases, real lessons. That Tax Guru Tax Crime story. If you found this story helpful, follow, like, and share, and I'll see you in the next Tax Crime File story.
The tax guru got me thinking bigger now.